Ready? Hey, Harmony Central, Craig Anderton here with John Chappell, Matt Snaremark, and it's another day of NAMM. And it was really kind of fun. I'll try to whip through these highlights, but of course we'll have the videos later and tweets and all that other stuff. Definitely one of the weirdest things and one of the coolest in a very strange way, it would have to be the video guitar. It's basically a guitar with a laptop LCD and a hole cut through it so you can have videos playing on your guitar while you're playing. So you can have a video of you playing while you're playing and be like looping and maybe cause the universe to implode, but that's their problem, not mine. So anyway, but it looks great and you can put all kinds of things in it. I would love to go on stage with that thing. Uses a piezo output, but it sounds pretty good. The other thing I noticed was electronic percussion seems to be happening in a big way. Pearl has a nice electronic percussion setup, and Alesis did something really interesting. They came out with an inexpensive electronic percussion setup for studios. So you know how you always go into studios and they have the back line, they have the acoustic drums set up in the corner. This is designed to be that same kind of thing. Load in lots of different sounds, have the drums available, play percussion on it, whatever. So I thought that was kind of an interesting trend. The other interesting trend was little amps. I think you may have mentioned the Mesa yesterday. Okay, and of course the Nano Viper. But Trainer has a cute little amp, and Marshall has a little 5-watt amp. So it looks like the invasion of the little amps thing is definitely happening. And of course, if you don't like real amps, you can go over to the IK Multimedia booth, which has Amplitube 3. Now, I like Amplitube a lot, and 3 looks even cooler. They've made it easier to use. You can drag and drop stuff around, so that's a lot more fun. And then, of course, the other highlight of today, well, actually, I should mention one more thing. Noteflight. Very interesting. It's sort of like Google Docs for notation. So you can put your notation up there, you can play tunes back, you can collaborate. Very cool. They have over 50,000 people, which is pretty good. They've only been around for 15 months. But the highlight for today would definitely have to have been the Hall-E crawl with the redoubtable Matt Snaremark, who loves to go up and ask embarrassing questions to people and extract all kinds of useful information. So rather than go through those highlights, I'll just say wait till the Matt Snaremark Hall crawl for Hall-E shows up on Harmony Central. It is definitely worth the time and effort. And so, next.
Thank you, Craig. Hi, Harmony Central. During this previously mentioned crawl, we came upon a company with a very imaginative name of Dwarf Craft Devices. And even more inventive were their products. They had a guitar with a built-in sine wave drone controlled by a joystick. So you can have a drone while you play. I mean, you have to be pretty adventurous to do that, but they had lots of fun with it. They also had pedals with dual fuzz circuits with a joystick that you could, you know, fine-tune, or, well, fine is not the right word in this circumstances, but it sure sounds cool. Another really funny product is the Drumsticks. It's a 3-stringed instrument that you cannot play a wrong note on. I tried and I failed miserably, which is good because it sounded good. Buy it for everyone you know. Everybody comes up and say, I wish I could play guitar. Give them a Drumsticks. It's so cool. Guitars, we have a small Californian company called LSL Instruments. They make great replica copies, whatever you want, of some famous California emulations. Thank you, Craig. My language skills may lack here. Well, anyway, inexpensive, cool, looks great. And then we have finally the Lele Burkhard Georg, a German who makes the Lele switches. Excellent, check him out. Too much detail to get here, but check him out. So over to John.
Great. Thank you, Mats. Thank you, Craig. What I did with the video team today is pursue our celebrity interviews, and we were quite successful despite the fact it was a Saturday. Let me just read you a list of the celebrities, the artists that we got at the NAMM show today and their perspectives on the new products. Neil Schon, Kenny Aronoff, Andy Timmons, John Five, Joe Satriani, Orianthi, Steve Lukather, John Petrucci, and perhaps what was the highlight of the day was Slash at the Marshall booth. We have never seen as many people at a NAMM show for any event. It was just unbelievable. The crowd control guys were going crazy, but get into interview Slash we did, and as everybody knows, he's a lifelong Marshall devotee, and they announced a new product called the AFD 100. The AFD is for Appetite for Destruction, which is the first album that just put them on the map and forever changed music history. So we got an inside look at that. Watch for the video on Harmony Central. It was really a special moment. Other things I saw that were cool is the Source Audio booth. They were originally known for making the Hot Hand, which was a motion controller that you put on your hand and could control modulation and things like that simply by moving and waving your hand. But they added to their sound blocks line with some really impressive distortion pedals, including ones that were new for the show, the classic guitar distortion and the multi-wave bass distortion. Really works well, and bass players, you too, can get in on the distortion game. I don't know if I mentioned the Fender Rumble amps. There's this whole line of really impressive bass amplifiers from Fender that were reasonably priced, had great features, and just sounded superb. And there's plenty of models to choose from. Planet Waves had a True Strobe tuner, which features which features, among other things, the Buzz Featon tuning system as well as drop and altered tunings. So it's a strobe tuner, but it's in a highly rugged pedal type format, so it should do very well. Waves, the plugin, our friends from Israel who make these Class A plugins, had more releases in their line, both in their signature series as well as their modeling series. They're different, but Mats and I attended the press conference and we were just blown away. I mean, this was stuff that they were just running on a laptop on the fly, and they had Jack Joseph Puig as well as Chris Lord-Alge, and Eddie Kramer continues to add to his collection. So we've seen those names before for Waves, but really do check these out because they were just really impressive out of the box. And of course, they had other things. They collaborated with a British company called Digico, which makes high-end digital mixers, and they had a nice bundle called the Horizon Bundle that we're very interested in. So lots of stuff from Waves. Craig mentioned the PV Nano Viper, lots of great stuff from PV, and we're really looking forward to the Nano Viper because it's a battery-powered amp with tremendous features. Okay, now to close, this was sort of the sublime to the ridiculous. From the sublimely pricey and esoteric was the Eigenharp. Did you guys see this? I would describe it as a cross between a bassoon and a Chapman stick. It's got this bassoon-like mouthpiece that's used as a controller, and then a matrix of buttons, and the buttons are sensitive in all directions, downward, pressed down into the fretboard this way, up and down, longitudinally and laterally across the neck. So just crazy stuff. It's not cheap, but it was very impressive, and you can see the YouTube videos of that. And then lastly, something was a little fun, was called the iTab. It's this little screen that clipped onto your guitar, and you could put anything. It's sort of an iPhone in landscape mode that you could put scrolling lyrics or scrolling chords or whatever you want, and it worked quite well. And I thought that was kind of fun. So that was it from Guitar Hall, and I guess that's it. We have one more day, Sunday. As Craig said, look for us online, our YouTube channel. Look for us on twitter.com/HarmonyCentral, and we'll see you all tomorrow.